Please don't call me in the morning. I ain't never waking up that early. Last night had the whole room turning. Sleeping late, I got my whole family worried. Got the bottles, they don't stop pouring. I won't ever forget about what's important. Got a straight flush, I ain't folding. If the police come, they better have a warrant. Hey, you know I'm out here, I'm just trying to live my life. Got a pretty mental mind, so I decide to keep it hot. Gotta stay up with the times, but man, I kinda find they're dying. Wish that I could hit rewind and end up back in 99. Hey, but it ain't that easy. The days are always changing, gotta change up with the seasons. My bro died the other day and I ain't even finished grieving. I'ma need to get away if it's even for a minute. Motherfucker slide. Please don't call me in the morning. I ain't never waking up that early.
Yeah, that's the fucking, that's the new song from C.Butts. Fucking Warrant. It's fucking 6-song album, 6 new songs. Fucking, we're back with, this will be episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. You see that red light there? That means we're fucking recording. Fucking, got some Canada Dry here. Fuck, we got our, another guest this week. Fucking, we got, Kody Kincaid. Is it Kincaid?
Kincaid.
Kincaid. Okay, I always thought it was Kincaid. See, our last guest was, Savvy. And I thought his name was Savvy. So again, I got another. Maybe next time we get a guest, I'll get their last name right.
Kincaid. It sounds like
Kincaid would be kind of cool.
Elegant name, even.
It's almost like that would be like a good artist name, maybe.
Yeah.
Kincaid. People would be like, "What is that?"
I'll have to remember that.
Be like, "That's my last name." Yeah, that'd be like maybe like an EDM DJ or something like that. Yeah. What are you drinking right now?
I am drinking a High Roller. I guess it's an energy drink with no sugar and no aspartame. And it tastes just like a normal energy drink. It's fantastic. Yeah. Shout out to High Roller.
Yeah, High Roller's pretty dope. It's fucking made in Kelowna. I like drinking it. It's like, it's a good fucking energy drink, you know? If I'm gonna drink an energy drink, I'll drink a High Roller. Fucking, where are you from, Kody? Where are you from? Tell us where you're from. Where do you come from?
I am from Courtenay, so I have always been on the island. I
like Courtenay.
Yeah.
Mount Washington.
Yes. And when I was born there and I was a lot younger, it was the size of Port Alberni.
Yeah, no, it's like kind of broken up a little bit.
Yeah, so it's quite grown since then.
Because there's the river that runs right through the middle of the town pretty well, right?
Yeah.
So there's like the bridge that connects like Courtenay and Comox, and like Cumberland is almost like they're almost like all kind of joined, like just like a little bit down. And then Merville too.
Comox.
Yeah, Comox, Merville, Courtenay, Cumberland.
So many.
Yeah, it's all kind of all in one little. It's a lot bigger now, though, way bigger than Port Alberni.
Yeah.
It's funny, me and my friend were up on the lookout the other day, looking at all the clearings that they've done in the trees, like just way up over the, over Sherwoods and stuff like that, and like way up above, like just underneath of the Mount Arrowsmith. And there's like a lot of room for development, like fucking, I think that in like 50 years or something, Port Alberni could be looking like a completely, like a little bigger too, with like a little connector joint, like maybe like another, who knows really.
We'll be our own Vancouver.
Yeah, kind of like a little metro town or some shit.
Yeah.
Like the metro town and like the island. If Port Alberni wants something like that, it's kind of already, it's kind of like a humble little fucking city.
It likes what it is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Could just use more like a more entrepreneurial business type motherfuckers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's always been like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. So fucking Courtenay, Comox. Yeah, I'm excited to go to Mount Washington this year and do some mountain biking. Where have you been?
I haven't been many places when you think of it physically. I've mostly just really been on the island. I think I went to Disneyland when I was 12.
Oh shit, that's somewhere.
Yeah.
I've never been to Disneyland. What Disneyland did you go to? There's a few of them.
The Disneyland, California.
California. Fuck California.
It was amazing. I would like to go.
How old were you?
I think I was 12.
Oh shit. Yeah, so you remember it pretty good.
It was amazing. I think as an adult, think I could enjoy it 100 times more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I like Disneyland. Like, you know, there's, like you said, there's a couple, but it's massive. But like, we went on every single ride.
Yeah.
And you get to go to every single place. If you go for a good week and stuff, and you're there from when they open to close.
Oh fuck.
You can see it all.
Hit it all.
You can feel
Mickey,
like
Donald.
All of them. I had a
Goofy.
scrapbook.
Yeah.
Where I would get them to signature, and my mom would take a picture with that animal. So I have all of the Disney characters in a book with their signature.
Oh shit, eh?
And you get to find them all, and then because they also have, I think it's California Land right beside it now.
Yeah.
And so all the main characters are in Disneyland, but in California Land, they're just...
Imagine how different it is. Yeah, like you're probably...
Oh, yeah.
You go there now, and it's probably like you get like, Big Hero 6 possibly flying around there.
Yeah, there was like 6 rides in the construction while I was there. And that's
they've
8 years
made
ago.
So many more movies and so many different flicks, right?
Yeah.
Frozen. Different princesses.
Yeah,
I bet you I could hook up with one of those Disney princesses.
Which one would you go for? That's a good question.
I don't know. I would have to probably go... You know what, actually? It's probably no question. I'd go for the one off Aladdin.
Jasmine,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a fucking... Yeah, I don't think there's much... It gets much more... Yeah, I don't even know what the word for it would be. Like, just like fucking exotic beauty.
Yes. Not gonna lie, when I was at Disneyland, I had a crush on the person who was acting as Pocahontas.
Okay, yeah. Fuck, Pocahontas would be a good one, too. Anything exotic, really. Like, it's same with fruit. You know, exotic fruits are pretty fucking good.
I can't live without pomegranates. I don't know what it is.
Pomegranates, yeah.
It's just amazing.
You just break it open and you fucking eat those seeds.
I had a dragon fruit the other day for the first
Dragon
time.
fruits are interesting.
It
What's
blew
it
my
taste like
mind.
again? It's been a while.
It's hard to explain. It's like, because it's white.
Let's get a double check here. Keep going.
It's white with its black things, like black seeds in it, and it's just, even what it looks like, it's super funky. But it's like an apple mixed with sweetness. Like, it's not sour like an apple.
Yeah.
It's its own thing. There's no way to describe it. Dragon fruit is just as mythical as its name.
Like a dragon.
Like a dragon.
Dragons are pretty mythical as fuck. I think, yeah, there we go. We're good to go. We've been good the whole time. I did that the last episode too, just double check. I think next time I do the episode, I'll double check before we start. And then when I edit it in, boom.
If I did a podcast for an hour and I realized I didn't record the entire time, I think I would cry for a week.
Really? Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be happy. I would be pretty upset. The original 3rd episode, actually, I was talking about this earlier with some friends. The original 3rd episode was, I actually just scrapped it because no one called. And I was just like having trouble filling the gaps. And so even when I edited it down, so I was talking nonstop the whole time, it was only like maybe 25 minutes of material. So I was like, okay, I'm just not, I'm going to take a break from this. I had to, start moving and shit anyway, and life got in the way. Yeah, it's crazy. Takes twists and turns. Yeah, all that shit.
You definitely, with podcasts, you'll have those days where you feel it, and the vibes just run, and you can and some days you don't have it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
show people the good stuff.
Yeah, straight up. But that's the same thing with music. Like, I probably only release like, I don't know, maybe 60% of what I do, maybe less. There's a lot of stuff that I scrap. My phone is just full of stuff that at one point I might use it, but also just might not, you know. It's still healthy to get whatever words were in my mind down into poetry, right? It was still kind of, at the time, whether I used the music or not, it was therapeutic.
And if you blow up and become famous, those things become relics. Because even Eminem, he had many old, gritty, Slim Shady stuff that he never released. And actually, a couple of years ago, he released those.
Yeah.
And it just, you know, people lost their minds over. And that's stuff that he considered unusable.
Yeah.
And it was very...
Yeah, I always think that at some point, if you end up with about 20 unusable songs fully recorded and mixed, just drop a album called Unusable. Or call it like scrap tracks, or just like, I don't really like these songs, but I'll give them to you anyway.
Yeah,
you know, some long weird title like that.
It's an LP all in itself.
Yeah, and it's still content, right? And you're still gonna hopefully reach some people with some of it. When you get to a certain level, those diehard fans are gonna listen to anything you put out.
Yep.
You just put out an instrumental, and someone will fucking buy it off you, right? Yeah, it's different level. But yeah, let's cut back a little bit here. What do we got? You've only been kind of here on the island, then to Disneyland. So Disneyland kind of took us a little off track, eh?
It did, which it's a roller coaster. It took us away. But when it comes to where
there's so many Disneylands at Roller Coaster Land that we ended up taking a ride on one of them and fucking ended up in a new conversation.
When it comes to where I've been, when I look at Port Alberni, I think of a blank painting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like it here when they finish school, they move, and they go to a place with a finished painting, like Vancouver. But if you have creativity and you want to do something, it would be impossible anywhere else. Like Damon and the coffee shop we got to run. I got to manage a coffee shop, and we got to build it together.
It's a good coffee shop.
Yeah, you can't do that in Vancouver or other places. We got to build our ideal coffee shop.
We're getting a call.
We got a call.
We got to take a break. All it says is British Columbia. We got the Foo Bar ringtone. We're going to answer it. Hello. Hello.
Hi. This is Marnie.
Who's this? Marnie.
Yeah.
Hi, Marnie. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I'm really good. We're just talking about... We're just talking to our guest here, Kody, and we're just finding out where he's been and stuff like that. Where have you been? What are you up to right now?
I'm in Dawson Creek.
Dawson Creek, like from the that's a show.
It was a show.
Dawson's Creek.
But there's actually a place called Dawson Creek.
I don't wanna wait
in northern BC
for my life to be over.
We have a caller from up north.
I don't want to something from Dawson Creek. I think that's the song from Dawson Creek. I don't wanna wait for my... Here, sing it with me, Kody. I don't wanna wait for my life to be over. I just know so. Yeah, it's fucking pretty cool. So, what are you doing right now?
Right now I'm waiting to talk to you guys. I was watching the clock and suddenly realized, it was time. It was time to give you guys a call. And I thought the subject we could discuss is defunding the police.
Defunding the police. That's an interesting topic. A lot of people are talking about that right now.
Right? Yeah, so what's your guys' opinion on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of, I have like an interesting, like, kind of, I'll let Kody take the first answer, and then I'll kind of chime in and see what I have to say about it, because I got like, I'm kind of like all over the place, you know?
For the viewers that might not know what this subject, we should just go over the details.
Yeah, maybe like just quickly kind of go over like, people are like...
in the United States, currently, that's where it kind of got started, they've had some...
shit's fucked up.
Rioting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to the fact, based on Black Lives Matters, and this is because there was a police officer who killed a gentleman, and
Yeah, four police officers.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, correct. There was 4 police officers. There was 2 holding the body down, 1 kneeling on his neck, and the other one was watching and keeping people away
Yeah.
from stopping what was happening. So that started an uprising.
So yeah, pretty well, like, yeah, that's like fucking, that's kind of happened too. And then here in Canada too, there was also a similar case where a young woman was shot, First Nations woman, in a help check. So yeah, basically we're talking like fucking the police are just being dicks. People are there's media, right? There's hella Facebook and hella Instagram and hella everything. And people taking their videos and they're uploading it right away. There's a lot of untrained police out there, and they're fucking shit up, and people don't like it, so they want to defund the police.
So
and do you think that's the answer?
I don't know. Yeah, let's see what Kody thinks here, real quick.
Okay.
So when it comes down to the rioting and stuff, it's really tricky because you have good people and you've got good police. So if you break it down from the beginning, you have some police that, you know, they did something terrible. They should not have done that. Most of us can agree on that.
Absolutely.
And then people saw that and decided to act out on their own and make some decisions that weren't so good themselves. And they overreacted. And, you know, there was lots of devastations of cars being flipped and burning buildings that we saw. And then the police being, so people that are doing this, first of all, they're scared, right? We have terror and confusion, and so they're doing this because they're scared. And then now you have the other police. You still have police that are good, police that are bad, but now they're all frightened from the riots. So then now they're going to act out in their frightened way. And then then people are taking videos of this stuff, and people see these police doing these unfair things. Now they're frightened, and I feel like it kind of gets out of hand. Will defunding the police help?
So what do you think? What's if there was a vote right now, and everyone had to vote on it, and it was like a fair vote by the people, like say like I held all the fucking ballots or something like that, you know, someone, you know, not someone from the government, you know, just someone
totally neutral.
Yeah, you know, like Ted Danson. So everyone got Ted Danson to hold the ballots or something like that, and then fucking or no, let's give him to Mark. Let's let Mark Wahlberg do it. He'll be safer. He can beat up. Mark Wahlberg does the giant vote, and that's what goes. You know, what do you vote? Over there in Dawson Creek.
I would vote on reform, not defunding, but reform of the police and how they become police officers.
Okay, so like better training, more of a like more hours put in. Like you got to actually put in some time. You can't just fucking become a cop.
Yeah, see, I would say that they would have to take instead of like still take the courses that they take to become a police officer.
Yeah.
But they would also have to take stuff like the same things that social workers would have to take.
Yeah, like drugs.
Right, and also, you know, like more understanding of people with mental issues.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
The effects of drugs and how it makes them act out.
Yeah, and I think in order to be an officer of the law, you have to have a minimum level, a degree of a blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And like
like a lot more self-defense.
Yeah, you shouldn't think a knife isn't a life-threatening option if you are trained well enough. Kody, what's your vote on the defund?
If I had to pick between one, honestly, I could argue it both ways. But,
yeah.
So like I see it.
Like let's say reform, I guess, is one of the options. So don't defund the police, don't do fucking anything. Defund the police, yeah, because they're pissing people off, or 2, reform them because they need to be better. They need to be fucking better.
I feel like reforming would be the obvious choice, but if it wasn't there, what I would say is yes, defund the police.
Yeah.
My reasoning for that is I feel like the riots and everything, like I said, scared, fear. I think it might make people feel a bit better.
Yeah.
And maybe, and again, you could argue it both ways, but maybe the police would be like, okay, we got ourselves in trouble, maybe we stop, and then people might feel a bit better.
Yeah.
But there isn't one answer that's going to fix all of the problems.
No. Yeah, so, like, yeah, I think, you know, one way, yeah, I've always wanted some interesting shit to happen. I've always wanted my life to be like a movie or something like a movie to happen. So, yeah, like, it would be kind of cool if there was no cops and everyone kind of thought for themselves, and we could go back to even not just the cops, but even the government, like, defund all that shit, like, no more money. You got your land, you got your furs, you trade furs, you go out and you back in the day, like the
back to using just commerce.
Just a little, yeah, like, I don't know when money even came into fucking, I don't even know when money really even started, like, or who even started money in the first place, but I think it's kind of a stupid, I think it's kind of stupid that everything goes into, like, everything kind of goes through the fucking, like, money I think is government made, I'm pretty sure, I guess, but yeah, it's just
really good question.
Yeah, so, like, 1 second, yeah, so yeah, I would love to defund the police because it'd be fun, and I'm just not I'm not a big fan of getting speeding tickets or, like, getting any tickets whatsoever in my car, you know, like, I've been driving pretty safe for, like, almost 15 or, like, 10 or 12, like, years now, and like, you know, I think I should be able to go, like, 120 down the highway if I want to go 120 down the highway when it's 80 or when it's 90. And if something bad happens, yeah, that's fucking on me, right? And no, I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. There's lots of argumentative states on it, but I don't know. I guess I would really like something interesting to happen. So yeah, sure, like, fucking, I guess defund them. Like, tell Mark Wahlberg that that's going to be my, that defund would be my answer, because, yeah, that would be...
Defund would be your answer?
Yeah, and, like, and not... I don't know. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it's kind of stupid, you know? I think people just need to be more... People need to be more aggressive when they're getting involved in situations instead of just pulling out their phones. You know, everyone's always pulling out their phones, like, filming icy roads. You know, people are pulling out their phones, filming people slipping around icy roads and crashing, and they'll film, like, pile up after pile, like, people piling up into each other, and people sit there and film someone getting killed, right? It'll go as far as that, and without doing something, right? I would have, if I wasn't in the situation, but I would have risked to my life. You know, I wouldn't have cared if I went to jail for assaulting an officer. I wouldn't have cared if I got shot and killed. Like, at least I would have tried to do something, right? Instead of just sitting there, you know, yelling, when yelling doesn't do anything. You know, that Asian guy was pretty small, and he had his hands in his pocket. I probably could have kicked him in the face. And then, or, like, tackled him into the other cops, you know? It's interesting, right? Yeah, I think reform is a good thing, too, but I think that, shut down the cops and start a whole new thing. A whole new system, and it's not the cops anymore. And they don't have guns. They only have the means of protection that they need. Yeah, maybe I don't know, maybe they'll have fucking guns. I don't fucking know. It's kind of, I'm not much of a political person. I like to stay ignorant. Ignorance is bliss, you know? I don't watch the news when I'm scrolling through Facebook. I try to ignore it. It's been hard to ignore shit lately, though, because it's all over the place.
It's more and more, right?
And everyone's, so that's why, yeah, I try to just stick to, like, you know, posting, you know, about my music, or posting about the podcast and stuff like that.
Right.
Trying to market music and, like, trying to stick to the music scene, ignore it. But even the music scene got really caught up in the Black Lives movement too, because hip-hop is a black culture, right? And we all had to kind of pause what we're doing, and it makes sense, right? You gotta respect culture and where shit comes from. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I stand behind the Black Lives Matter and the fact, of course, Black Lives Matter. I think everybody's life matters. To be honest.
Yeah.
I don't care what color, what race you are. I think we all matter, and we're all a part of the solution and part of the problem.
Yeah.
Right. So and that's the problem. Where does it begin and where does it end?
Yeah.
That's the problem. It just feels like we're just in this never-ending circle.
Yeah. No. Totally.
This trap.
So,
right?
Yeah, it's all kind of fucked up, and we're gonna I kind of want to we're gonna slowly like a curler, and like we're the curlers, and this conversation is a rock, and we're gonna like really slowly kind of release this rock and jump into something else after we end this call. But before we slowly release the rock, me and Kody, we're the curlers. You're not here, so you can't curl the rock with us. But
All right.
you pretty well. Yeah. What's the like best movie you've seen lately?
Best movie I've seen lately. Oh.
Yeah. Any genre really funny or?
Oh gosh. I haven't watched a movie actually in a while. Oh.
Last one.
No. Okay, the last movie.
Last good movie that you watched.
Okay, Maleficent, the newest one.
Maleficent, the new Maleficent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maleficent's pretty kick-ass. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was crazy in the first one when
awesome.
she gets her wings cut off. It's kind of like cringy.
Right. Yeah, but the second one was really, really good. Did you see the second one?
Yeah, I did. I watched it at my buddy's house. I didn't know we were going to be watching a movie, but yeah, we ended up watching Maleficent. It was good.
Yeah.
I think
really liked it.
Yeah.
all the new Disney adaptations of all the movies they've done, realistically,
Yeah.
have all given them justice.
Yeah.
They're all really good.
The best movie I've seen recently, I just watched In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an older movie by John Carpenter, but I just recently got told about it by a friend, and I watched it, and I really like old movies like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, In the Mouth of Madness. It's pretty scary too. Actually, it's a good little horror movie.
Oh. I'll have to try that. I like horror movies.
Yeah, definitely. If you know how to stream it, that's how I did it. I just streamed her online. Yeah.
My best last movie is I just saw Repo, the genetic opera.
Oh yeah, that's kind of that's when he's like he goes and repos organs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like a horror sci-fi opera, and it's its own thing.
It's funny, that was like the year of repo movies. They like came out with like a bunch of those movies that was like Repo Man and Repo and or the Repo Opera one, and there was like all about like people going and taking. It was shortly out, like a couple of years after the Hostel movies, and like around the Human Centipede era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for giving us a call.
Absolutely. You gentlemen have a great evening.
Yeah. We're giving her every Friday from 5 till 6, hopefully.
Sounds good.
Yeah, you can follow us at Life Calls Podcast on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds real good.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Night.
Yeah, you too.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. Dawson's Creek. I don't want Yeah, that's a good show actually. I never watched it, so I don't know if it's good or not.
Fair enough. It probably is.
Yeah, it was pretty popular back in the day. It's kind of like a 90210 thing, I would think. But yeah, that's kind of like interesting kind of shit going on nowadays with the and it kind of like made everyone think different. Stop thinking about like kind of the COVID, right? It kind of took everyone's eyes off of all that shit, having all that shit go on. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Yeah, you got anything else to say on that before we curl that motherfucker rock away?
I do. I'm going to take us back for a second. So when we were talking about reposing the police and stuff, and you were mentioning that it would be interesting if we got rid of money, we got rid of government.
Yeah.
So let's look at that. If we went back to trades and doing that kind of stuff, which worked at some point, it was a very plausible system.
Yeah.
Would it be plausible with the population as it is now if we just had our 5 or whatever it is billion people now with no government and it just all magically poofed and we went back to trading leather skins in the traditional trades?
Well, the organically, the population would drop fast. I think. I think there's going to be certain cities that are going to be like really fucked up, like possibly like resorting to like fucking, like who knows? Because like who knows what stuff will stop? Like people think stuff can't run without money.
Mm-hmm.
But all this stuff is here, and we've been getting it the whole time, and making it the whole time. How did we make it all? With money. But if there was no money, then everything can just get made, because you can just fucking make it, because the materials are there, the gas and the oil and all that shit's there, or all the other stuff, anything else you need. Like, I just don't really get it. I don't get why, you know, where did money come from, you know? Let's fucking pull it up. No one's calling right now. We're gonna pull it up.
It would be very skill-based. It'd be like, what can you do? Not how much money do you have. What can you do? What can you make?
Yeah. It's funny, on other podcasts, they'd be like, oh, hey, Jeff, pull this up, you know, and then it would, like, pop up in the screen. But, you know, we don't fucking... I do have a green screen.
You'll have a Jeff one day.
When I move, when I get to a different location here, I'm thinking of putting the green screen, like, I don't know, maybe even relocating, like, into a different, like, a shed or something, and having the screen behind it. We'll, like, sit here and do the podcast on the beach or some shit. When did money start? I'm just gonna fucking search that up. Money objects were introduced as money around, or metal objects were introduced as money around 5000 BC. That's before Christ, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are we in right now? After Christ?
Yes. AD?
AD, yeah.
Is
that after? That's after death.
Yeah.
Right, not AC. AD. Yeah, after death. So Jesus was born in like fucking 4. Or no, Jesus was born in like 20 or something, fucking supposedly. Or like...
So they're saying it's been around for 7,000 years, basically?
Money has been around since 5000 BC. Yeah, and we're in the year 2000. That's crazy. That was actually only 2000. 2000 is not looking like a big number now all of a sudden when I'm reading this.
Yeah.
By 700 BC, the Lydians became the first in the Western world to make coins. Metal was used because it was readily available, ready to work with, and could be recycled. Soon countries began minting their own series of coins. See, it's just stupid. It's fucking man-made. Like, and all of a sudden it fucking rules everything, and like, you gotta, now, well, like, at first it was like, you used to just be able to make it. All these people were just making it. We could just make it. Anyone could just make it at their fucking house. And now it's like illegal to make your own money because it's like government, and it's like, no, you gotta go fucking work. You gotta go work for your money. You gotta go build this fucking city for your money. It's like, no, you know, fuck your city. I'm gonna build my shack and my farm. So's the next guy and the next guy and every single fucking person on earth. And we're not gonna rely on your buildings and your corporations and your shit. It's kind of fucking... It would slowly work itself out. It would take a little bit, but...
It's a lot to think about. Just everything of, like... The thing that I'm just thinking of during this entire conversation is... It
hurts my brain.
How many skills can I think of that a person could have if there wasn't money? What would give them their trade? Because there's millions.
Well, yeah, it would be like... you know, there'd be performers, blacksmiths... all sorts of people. Fucking people making candles.
Butchers,
you know, I buy these
hunters.
candles fucking sometimes. Fucking butchers, hunters, fucking blacksmiths. People making candles.
If computers were still around, people who, you know, the coders and stuff would actually make real money.
Yeah.
They would actually be used properly.
Blacksmiths.
Yeah. Blacksmiths would be a good one.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
No, that's just like another. That's just like another one that would be.
I want to be a blacksmith.
Yeah. You could even be. You could probably be a blacksmith too. If stuff was around those times.
Tailors.
Blacksmiths.
I think we both want to be blacksmiths.
Maybe. Yeah, fuck, that's funny.
Farming would be a good one.
Yeah.
It's sad. Oh, another one.
We know this person. This is Skyler Wendy for this from British Columbia. We know this person. He might want to ride. Yo. Hey, this is Skyler.
Yes. Is this that podcast?
Yeah, this is the podcast. What's up, man? Who
likes Pop Tarts?
Who likes Pop Tarts?
Yeah, man.
I like them.
What? One more time?
Who likes Pop Tarts?
Say it again.
Who likes Pop Tarts?
Who likes Pop Tarts? I don't know. I'm more of a toaster strudel guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you ever had a toaster strudel?
Yeah, I've had a toaster strudel.
What would you rather have right now?
Tasty Pop Tart.
A tasty Pop Tart.
Strudel sucks.
Which flavor?
Fuck off. Strudel sucks. Their fucking Pop Tarts are so fucking dry, man. How could you even say that?
Which flavor of Pop Tart?
Yeah, what's your favorite Pop Tart?
The blueberry one.
I like apple or triple berry.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah, but in the end I would go with an apple or triple berry toaster strudel.
Nice.
Yeah. What kind of Pop Tart do you like, Kody?
I like I've always had a sweet spot for the marshmallow chocolate one, where it's kind of like layered. It's got its chocolate
it's like a
stuff
s'more.
Yeah.
The s'mores Pop Tart.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
But the toaster strudels, just the flakiness and the sheer art.
Yeah, it's a little less dry too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Pop Tart, you need to drink something after.
Yes.
Yeah.
And before. You have to drink something before.
You have to prepare for it. It's
You
an
gotta
entire
lube. You
incantation.
gotta lube up the throat with some water, so that it's like a water slide.
You gotta plan for it. You gotta like pick a time, get your water glasses ready. You can't get them while you're eating it. You have to make sure you got your 2 cups at the go.
So why you're calling about Pop Tarts? How stoned are you right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how stoned are you right now?
And I haven't taken a bong hit yet, but I will be soon.
So you're like a -2.
I guess. I just thought about Pop Tarts.
Are you still riding the high from your last time?
When was your last hit?
Last night.
Holy
Sober
fuck,
right now.
dude! It's 5:30 in the fucking afternoon. You haven't gotten stoned yet?
How can you call yourself a stoner?
I'm trying to cut down.
What?
Yeah, just making my mind really foggy when I take too many hoots in a day.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, no. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, no, taking a break from, taking a break is, good from a lot of things, even like, from a relationship, you take a break from a relationship and you come back and, sometimes the connection can be like a lot stronger. It's the same, same thing with like weed, you like take a break from the weed and then next time you smoke it, you get a lot more fucked up.
Yeah.
For me, I found, because when I turned 19, I went to karaoke at the Port Pub every Friday for like a year and a half. And then when I took a break from it, I just found myself coming back and enjoying it a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, just with you're right, anything. Relationships, weed, Pop Tarts, going to the bar. Sometimes when you take a break from something, you go back and you're like, wow, it's nice to do this every once in a while.
Yeah, except I probably wouldn't go back to Pop Tarts.
Yeah.
Like after having toaster strudels.
There would be a lifelong break.
Yeah.
From the Pop Tarts.
A lifelong break. Okay, thanks for calling.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Alright, I'm just gonna hang up on him. Calling about Pop Tarts. Hasn't had a bong hoot since fucking last night. I don't know, if you're not stoned, Why are you calling talking about Pop Tarts?
That
It's
in
good though.
itself,
It's good though. You know.
That's a deep question.
Yeah. I don't know what everyone else. You know, if you listen to this podcast, you know, let us know in the comments section on YouTube what you like more, toaster strudels or Pop Tarts. You know, I know at least like 70 or something people watch through these things after like about a year or something of them being posted. There's like, they say 100 views, but those like at least 20. I looked at the analytics, and at least 25 people just kind of go straight for the phone calls and watch like about 8 minutes of the video.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also like a good like 70 people who watched the whole hour. Back when I was doing it, there were only about like 45 minutes, but so we're taking calls for like the whole hour. So I kind of been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got I got one more introduction question that we haven't even got to yet. But yeah, you've kind of been like just here and stuff, and you're kind of from just here, but you're from Comox, and you've only been to Disneyland, but like, where are you going? Where are you going? Not just place wise, but you know, like where you know, you got like plans fucking down, like say like where are you going in the next fucking 10 or something years?
I like to try to live my life like Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
In a sense that
so you just steal shit from people. You just steal everyone's.
No,
so you're just
specific.
Thomas Edison was a dick.
When
I remember that Family Guy episode of Thomas Edison. Yeah, but go ahead.
That
yeah.
makes him not so much like him. But so then with the filament, it took him 1,000 different tries and creative things to get to the light bulb. Well, that's the story.
Yeah,
yes,
no,
he stole
totally.
it.
Yeah, no. Well, I don't know. Who knows?
But if we're going with the story, so I like to have these just crazy creative ideas, and even if they don't come through, one day I'll just do something. So I like to just, like with the coffee shop, I'll have these weird. There's one time I wanted to buy. This is going to sound really weird, but I was like, I have a money-making scheme, and I'm going to buy shoes.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy 2 pairs of shoes, buy one, get one free, make sure it's the right size, that people are buying a good brand, and then sell them online for the normal price.
Yeah.
And then when I make that money, buy 4 shoes.
Oh, yeah.
And then triple and
whatever, yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to be a long process, but I'm going to make money off shoes.
Seeds take time.
But see, so I call that the shoe theory. And if you have 50 theories, you know, one of them just works. So where am I going? Places I like to have fork. Like worked at McDonald's for a long time, love it to bits, but right now if it comes to like job, the mail industry, Service Canada, there is many different kinds of jobs in that. I think that'd be really cool. Working at the hospital as a cleaner, one of the best things you can do.
And you can get some good benefits doing that shit.
Yeah, and I'm playing a video game right now competitively in tournaments for money.
Oh shit!
Fork, all these different things, all these different ideas, making more, and then just taking what comes. So
little ideas, man.
I'm happy where I'm going as long as I stay creative and keep making weird ideas.
Yeah.
In this town where you can do that, just keep painting, making your own story.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy doing that and trying to be a mad scientist.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can do. There's all sorts of fucking places. Things can go. It's almost like a lot of things are like fucking. A lot of things are like a mediocre baseball player. You know, he's like, unless you're like a professional or something at something. But a lot of, like, when I find with my hobbies, because I have so many of them, and you might find with yours, is like, like you were just saying. But it's like a baseball player that's like mediocre, you know? He's bound to have a good game. He's a mediocre player, and he just does okay. But every now and then, you know, he'll fucking make that double play, or he'll fucking get that fucking home, you know. Every now and then he's gonna have a good game. And you know, I've never reached a professional level, I don't think, on anything, right? Like I used to fight amateurly, and I've rode mountain bikes, and I do rapping and singing and stuff like that, but until I reach anything on a professional level and stick to it for a solid 10 years non-stop, grinding, then I'm just going to be one of those baseball players that has some good games here and there, some good songs here and there, right? Or some good fucking fights here and there, or some good rides here and there. I'm still gonna crash on my bike and shit like that, right?
Yeah. Just keep your being the average baseball player, but that average baseball player is only bound to have hit that home run or have that good game if they keep to it.
Totally.
So it's not about needing to be better. It's just as long as you stay positive and you just keep with it, you will succeed eventually.
Yeah, and a lot of the time those those lower down baseball players are probably a lot more happy, not getting traded away all the time and not getting the spotlight. Fucking, you always hear about certain like Babe Ruth and fucking I don't really know many baseball players. I got a few more in my head. One that starts with a J and another one that starts with a B. But I don't know their first names, but I do know, like, there's some baseball, and it's like they got stories and shit. They end up on TMZ and stuff. I feel like if you were just like a mediocre like professional baseball player, though, you wouldn't end up with all that shit. You'd end up having one of the happier lives, being a low down professional athlete. Probably go home and
more money, more problems.
Yeah.
And
still get good money though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as we are talking about baseball.
Yeah.
In what you just said, you can take that to anything. People in movie careers, like you can not be an actor and audition to something and get into. I know someone that got into 4 seasons of a show with no experience.
Yeah.
As soon as you're Bob Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Now you have problems. Like when you're at that high level.
Totally. Yeah.
So, you don't need to be at the top. If you be an amateur at what you do, but you can still. You hide under the radar, and it can be easier and happier. And a lot of these famous people in their professions aren't happy.
No.
Like, even I love hip-hop, NWA.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff. And they really had to fight and pave the way. If you are a black artist in hip-hop nowadays, it is so much easier. You might not be as famous. No one will be as famous as Tupac, Biggie, Yella.
Well, they're still going to be legends. They're just legends in different eras. It's just the fact of what they did was way of it's a better, more of a harder story, really.
Yeah, and they
instead of just, oh man, one of my songs from SoundCloud got picked up, and fucking all of a sudden here I am.
They, I guess in short, like in a quick summary, they just expressed and brought the world just understanding. Hey, we're shouting out, this is our problem, and then the world they didn't realize what was happening.
Yeah.
They were being censored from what was happening to them.
Yeah.
Like you would never have known that there were tanks running into houses if they thought there was narcotics in them.
No, totally.
Until early 2000s.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
And they just made everything better.
Yeah.
So that's nice, just for hip hop artists and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Like hip hop's a good time, man.
Yeah.
Not even just hip hop, but like just any music, really.
It's very expressive.
Yeah, it is. It's good. It's good for you. Doesn't matter, People should go try to fucking learn an instrument. Go fucking pick up an instrument. Go fucking get an instrument. A clarinet or something.
So important. It's so expressive. Every musician,
triangle,
amateur or famous, there's a story.
Yeah.
Like it's a way of living.
Yeah, and you never know, right? Until you record something, you don't know if until you pick up that fucking whatever, that paintbrush as a metaphorical thing, you don't know. You could be a fucking Picasso.
Here's a good question. If you can't say guitar, what is the best instrument to pick up chicks? In your opinion, if it's not a guitar?
The microphone. I mean, yeah, I'll answer it in another way here, but yeah, your vocal system is definitely your vocal system's an instrument.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go buy an instrument, fucking learn how to use your voice.
Yes.
That's the original. That's the first instrument ever made. Well, maybe, but that's fucking your voice.
And I think you could woo girls very easily with that. It's a very awesome system.
Yeah, like if you could sing like Chris Brown or something like that, or be able to hit those like Usher notes, That's pretty impressive.
It's all over. They can't even say no.
Yeah. Other than that, probably like just like another one that would be in a band, like a bass guitarist.
Yeah.
Or even a drummer. You know, just as long as you're if you're in that band, that's good enough, and you're going to the bars, hitting the bars, playing. Yeah, a lot of those girls are waiting for the band to get off stage to see what they're doing after. And they're all like sitting there down there, and if you look like a weirdo up there, they'll be talking shit down there, you know, but they might still, you know, there's still going to be one or two of them out there. I'm going to grab another drink, keep
sounds good.
Yeah. I hear my fucking cat meowing outside too. I'm going to let that motherfucker in there.
And when we're talking about this, like what instrument, you know, would, you know, help you with girls or whatever, it's not even that, it's confidence. If you are confident up there performing with whatever you're doing and your expression, that's the sexiest thing.
Confidence with eye contact.
Yes.
Confidence with eye contact.
But I think that there's a secret instrument that...
Shut the fuck up, that's fucking...
Super annoying.
Yeah, I know, that's fucking Kelly though, fucking... I think he might be... I don't know if he's doing it on purpose, but that's annoying as fuck.
I think there's a secret instrument that is like the hidden ultimate can ensorcel you.
Okay.
The saxophone.
Yes. Yeah.
You can play the saxophone.
You're going to pick up a lot of women over 40 with the saxophone. Yeah, for sure. You're going to woo a lot of women over 40 using the saxophone. 100%.
Would they have to be over 40?
Got both my cats at night now. Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying that from seeing, like, I'm thinking of, like, the type of crowd you would find. Like, if you were to go to a bar, like, you're in a city you don't know, and you go to a bar, and it's, like, dimly lit, and there's, like, a blue curtain on stage, and there's, like, a guy... like early big mustache playing the saxophone on stage. Ooh. And he's got the whole set. He's playing the whole night, no one else, just him. And between every song he like says like, this one's called smooth jazz or whatever. Yeah, I would think that the women you're gonna find in that club are all gonna be probably over 40.
I agree.
Yeah.
With that. And then there's other ways, like, I guess it's not as popular, but LMFAO, when they were already having their problems and kind of disappearing, they did a song that had, like, a modern type style of saxophone.
Yeah. Like
a pop song with a saxophone chorus.
Yeah, yeah, that's really big nowadays. Horns and stuff, trumpets, and, like, dun, 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 dun. That there's that Rag and Bone and Calvin Harris song.
Yeah,
it's a really good giant. I am a giant. Yeah, that's fun. Trumpet. There was this one band I used to go to a place called no, I won't even say the name of it, but I went to this place in fucking Victoria and Langford called fucking Darcy's. Yeah, I'll say the name of it. Fuck it. Go to Darcy's in Langford. It's a good fucking bar. Yeah, no, but you go there and, like, they got some good musicians sometimes, and it's, like, normally, like, this one band, their house band, it plays covers, a lot of covers, but they had this one band, this one month, it was called, Cities. I'm pretty sure it was called Cities. If not Cities, it was called Twin Cities, but I'm pretty no, it wasn't called Twin Cities, that's the brewery. It was called Cities, like CITIES, and, you won't find a lot of their like music videos or professional recordings online, but you'll be able to find them like on YouTube doing like weddings and bar shows and stuff like that, like live performances. And yeah, they lot of trumpets and horns and like they'll take like all the songs that you hear like kind of like on your favorite radio station like 94.5 or one of those hit radios, mainstream radio stations, and then pump it up. And like, yeah, it was actually one of the best times I ever had at Darcy's was when Cities was playing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of like those kind of like trumpets and saxophones, it's more of an older style of music, like you were saying. You got that jazz kind of feel. You're gonna be interesting 40 plus.
Yeah.
But a lot of us younger people, millennials, and the younger generation, we're not used to that kind of music. So you get someone who can perform with that. We're like, wow, that's the first time I've seen that. I'm used to bands being guitar, like lead, bass, drums, maybe electric piano, but besides that, like seeing some of these skills with trumpets, unless you've been in a school band, it's pretty cool, and I think that we should see more of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And we should be educated in all of the music.
Yeah, having bigger pieced bands, like these, like there should be more like 18 or like 12-piece bands, not just your basic. Get them all in there. A little fucking flute in the background or something, or like a Peruvian flute, like keep away the giant hamsters. The Peruvian flute.
When I was really into Nintendo when I was a bit younger, they did in 2012 they came out with a CD, which was all the old Zelda songs, but done with a 108-piece band.
Okay.
So it was all their music done, but with like a full orchestra.
Yeah.
And that stuff's powerful. Not just specifically Zelda, but just these orchestras.
Yeah.
I would go pay. I've never seen an orchestra like that live, and your heart would stop. You would hear the trumpets in your bones. Yeah. You would feel the vibrations.
Yeah, it would
be. The building would shake.
Yeah, it would be crazy. I would do it. I would take shrooms before I went. Yeah.
I think I'd have to do like a practice run.
Yeah.
Because I might just die without the shrooms.
Yeah.
That's a lot of. I feel like it'd be very powerful, but.
Yeah, that would be. It would be quite something. Like we were always think like going to an opera or something on shrooms would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like lost in the.
I don't think.
Or no, not an opera. A play, like a good play.
A good play.
Like a really good one, not like. One of the ones from around here. There's some good plays from around here, but I'm talking like a really good, like, well done play, like something that would suck you in, and you'd be like, because it was right there and the people were there, like you'd think it was real, and you'd be like, oh fuck, you'd be tripping out hard.
About that, so when I was at Disneyland, one of the things I do remember is they had 4D theaters.
Oh yeah,
and 4D wasn't a thing back then, but basically they got the senses, and what they were saying the fourth one was touch. So they did a Honey, We Shrunk the Audience, and it was kind of like, it made it look like you were small, and like and the people were like holding the theater, and it would move back and forth.
Yeah.
Like the theater would move, but then they accidentally in the thing duplicated rats, and there's a bunch of rats, and they come and they have actually air pockets that shoot air at you from the ground and the feet, so it feels like there are rats crawling all over you. Or there's a bee, and they have things that actually stab you in the back of your chair.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Do that on shrooms.
Yeah. That'd be almost too much.
Yeah.
That'd be good though.
And I haven't heard about that since. I'm sure too many people died of heart attacks.
Yeah.
Doing that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
It's probably too much of a liability.
Yeah, like fucking. Look at that. Like, believe it or not, we're like already hitting an hour.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like. I'm pretty sure that says 59. Let's see what this says.
I feel like that went as quick for our audience as it did for us.
No, yeah, well, it was
action packed.
Yeah, no, it that happened last week too. Actually, it went by really quick. Fucking conversation, fucking time flies by. I don't know what that was. Oh, that was actually perfect timing. That's fucking the camera actually stopped at 1 hour.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're still recording. So this is where I'll cut it out and I'll put like a photo. Last time we had really bad technical difficulties, and like it filmed the whole time, but then when I sent it to myself, half the footage was disrupted. And then I went back to the phone that it was on in the first place, and it's like still says half of it was disrupted. So I only had like 32 minutes or something like that, and we went to like 104. But yeah, I guess that's basically it. We're on one of those YouTube ads that takes like, you know how like YouTube throws on these long ass ads? This ad is 42 minutes long. That's bullshit, man. You got ads that are 42 minutes long. It's probably been on these people almost the whole time.
That one says 57 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's a way too long of an ad.
That's an episode.
And now it's like, yeah, like we're on these really fucked up songs all of a sudden. Like, I'm not gonna end the episode on one of these songs. Friggin', let's see here. Let's see something we can fucking throw in there.
As you're doing that, it would be interesting because you're talking about, like, you know, you have difficulties, half of your stuff gets disrupted. When you have, like, people that are doing these famous podcasts, do they just have equipment that doesn't do that? Technical stuff, it can fail, even the expensive stuff. Or do they have 16 cameras going, so then if 15 fail, they go,
look at that.
Cat mayhem.
Oh yeah, you're okay. Cat almost died. Fucking cat just knocked over some crazy shit, man. Fucking the footage wasn't rolling for that. Fuck, that was crazy. Yeah, no shit. Fucking shit just came tumbling down there.
There. No one died, including the cat.
Yeah, no, it was a good episode. Had a couple calls. One or two, I think two. Yeah, 2 calls.
Could you call that 1.5? Pop Tarts and...
Yeah, almost. Almost 2, yeah. Gonna play something from Port Alberni here. Play some local music. Pretty well. Fucking, that was a good little fucking 4th episode.
Yeah.
We're just getting started back up, you know. Fucking hell, you know. Consistency, man. Consistency is the main thing.
That's the one thing. I mean, like, no one wants to talk about COVID, but I feel like with COVID, everything just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you could think.
Yeah.
Like, when your rush stopped, like, I thought more. Like, I've been working full-time since I was 14.
Yeah.
I feel like I've grown mentally more during COVID than I ever have before, just because you have all this time to think and be consistent with things you want to do.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, lives can actually move forward now.
Yeah,
like,
things are definitely not gonna, like, well, not gonna be the same, like, life-wise, but, like, things aren't gonna be the same, like, in my life, I know. Like, I'm gonna stop the job I was working as I think when I was doing the last podcast, I was still doing it, but yeah, I was working, or in the first couple episodes of this podcast, I was a bouncer at the Port Pub, and I'm not gonna do that anymore. Even if they open up, I'm just not gonna bother with it. I don't want to do it anymore. But yeah, COVID fucking kind of stopped everything, and everything's kind of slowly picking back up though. People are worried about like a second wave type thing, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of ride waves, you know?
Yeah.
So if you want to send a wave my way, you know, I'll grab the board.
Yeah.
I don't have a surfboard, but I'll grab someone's board. I'll steal one off a roof or something.
I'll probably share it with another. I could probably fit on there with someone.
That'd be dope.
I think you have to. I can't, like, have people that don't have surfboards and they just crash waves when they come their way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could live like that. You have to roll with the punches.
Yeah, you got to. I'm kind of at the top of the town, though, so I don't really. Even when I move, I'll still kind of be above the tsunami line. I think I'm above it right now. Basically, we're past. We've been about an hour and a little bit here. We're gonna play this song. This is "Pictures to Remember" by Skyler Glenn. He's the lead fucking singer in Swan Ronson. I'm gonna play this song as our outro today. Fucking see kind of what he's got in store for us here. It's a good song. Yeah, thanks for coming, Kody.
Thanks, it's been an honor.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We'll have you back for sure.
Was it you who made me to change. Maybe